Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, June 17, 2014. Let's jump right into the charts here. And what you're going to see here is that the S&P 500 E-mini futures are trading lower by $2.75 to 1933.75 per contract. Now, this comes after some economic data was just released. It looks like consumer prices rose in the month of May, and that is ultimately weighing on the markets a little bit. So after the CPI was released, housing starts were also released, and it looks like housing starts plummeted in the month of May by 6.5%. So markets have taken a little bit of a dive here, and we may see some weakness out here, I suppose. But yesterday we saw some early weakness, and the markets rebounded once the light volume kicks in. So it's hard to say. The volume trends are some of the lightest I've seen in 10 years. So again, respect the light volume, but market's definitely under a little bit of pressure this morning, and we'll see how this all shakes out and plays out. But nonetheless, there are always some stocks in the news, so let's go to the stocks here. We're going to talk about Tesla. Yesterday, Tesla made a big pop on the charts. If I show you here, you can see how Tesla really took off to the upside yesterday. The news is out on Tesla. I think the news is that New Jersey has passed a law where Tesla can sell cars directly to customers. So that's a pretty big event, I guess, for the stock, for the company. So we'll see how that all plays out. But again, that is the news right now. It looks like New Jersey State Assembly passed a bill that allowed Tesla to sell cars directly in that state. Prior to that, they had to sell to a dealership, and they don't have dealerships. So again, that is the news, and that sets the stage for other states to do the same thing. However, the stock, I believe the news is already baked into the cake. So I would not be jumping on board Tesla here at all. I'm not saying it can't go higher, but it had a big move yesterday. Now today, let's see if it pauses, what happens here, but I would not be a buyer of Tesla. Again, you want to buy the rumor, sell the news, and I think today is the news. The news is out. So that's my take on Tesla. Let's go to Expedia. Looks like Expedia had some news as well. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it looks like it's an upgrade. And you're going to get a lot of upgrades and downgrades this week because of the options expiration. So again, there'll be a lot of game playing by the institutional money. So Expedia now is catching a pretty sizable pop today. Stock's trading at $76.50. It closed at $74.50. It is overbought. I would not be chasing this equity here. Be a little bit careful. You can see it went up to $77, paused over there, but I would not jump on board this one. Not to say that it can't go higher, but it's already overblown on the daily chart, and I would really just hesitate around this level. I would not be a buyer up here at this point. I don't have a great shorting level, at least not yet. But if it got to around 80, I would short it. But I don't know if it'll get there. But either way, I would not be chasing it or buying it here. Another upgrade and downgrade that I am seeing today is DSW. This is Designer Shoe Wear, or Discount Shoe Wear as it's called. This was upgraded, I believe, by, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's upgraded by Goldman Sachs today. Right now the stock is very oversold. I don't really have a problem with this one so much. So this one can go up a touch, I guess. But again, it's been a weak equity, and if the markets are weak, this isn't going to go very far. So be careful and be aware of all these upgrades and downgrades that are taking place. Let's take a look at AT&T. AT&T is supposed to be the exclusive mobile provider for the new Amazon cell phone. Now that hasn't been released yet. It is expected that it will be released tomorrow at some conference. But I don't know if this news is really that big. If the stock gets up to around $36.15, that would be about the extent of it. It might even be a fade at that point in time. So I don't really see a lot of upside or downside here for AT&T, but I don't think this news is a game changer. Speak of that, let's go to Amazon itself, and you'll see Amazon has had a big pop already. I do not see any upside from here in the stock. Let's take a look at Domino's Pizza, DPZ. I think this was downgraded today, if I'm not mistaken, by Bank of America Merrill Lynch to underperform from neutral. The stock actually could go a little bit lower, so I'm not going to dispute that downgrade. If it rallies, watch for resistance at $74.61. If it plunges, The stock is a buy at $67. Let's go over to the next one here, and that is Nuance Communications. Stock is making a pretty good little pop this morning. This was a stock that was up big yesterday. Nobody knew really why. Today the news is out on it, so expect very little upside in this name. But it looks like Nuance has put itself up for sale, or it is expected to be bought out by somebody. So I don't know if it's just an OptionsX rumor or if it's a factual event that will take place. You never know one way or the other. But I'm going to have some gap levels for this one. We're going to short this one this morning at some point here. So again, I will have some gap levels in the chat room if this does go a little bit higher. But again, that's the story on Nuance Communications, is that it's either going to be bought out by Samsung or be bought out by maybe Apple or somebody like that. But again, I don't know if this is just factual or if this is just an options expiration rumor. But either way, we have some good solid levels we'll put up in the chat room at 9 o'clock. And if it gets there, we'll play that for a scalp play. And we'll see how it goes. But again, this is the week of OptionsX. Friday will be quadruple witching expiration. That means everything under the sun is expiring. Single stock index futures, single stock indexes, option indexes, option index futures, everything under the sun's expiring. Don't get caught up in the hype. You're going to get rebalancing this week. It's a very volatile trading week. These institutions have not been making a lot of money recently because of the lack of volatility and the lack of trading volume. Just the other day, you had Ameritrade, E-Trade, and Charles Schwab, say how low the trading volumes have been and it's affecting their business. If that's the case, the institutions are feeling it 10 times more. So, again, this is their real week. This is their week to take advantage of the small retail options trader. So, be aware of that. Expect a lot of choppiness, especially in stocks that are up. You can see them go down. Stocks that are down, you can see them go up. That's the way it works during OptionsX. You're going to see a lot of institutional game playing. Happens each and every week. This is the real Shark Week. With that said, everybody, I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to move over to the gold market. And what you're going to see here with gold is plunging today by $12.60 to $1,262 an ounce. Let's go to the all-important GLD, and you'll see GLD has come down and is trading at 121.50. It was trading at 122.42 yesterday. So good little move down in gold. Same goes for the gold mining stocks. Gold mining stocks are tumbling as well. If you were an In the Money Stocks member, you know my max move on the GDX, which is gold mining ETF, was $24.15. And this morning, you could see that this is now coming right off that line, trading at around $23.69 at the moment. So again, gold and gold miners are both down sharply today. If they're down sharply today, what does that tell us about dollar yen? Tells us dollar yen should be up, and sure enough, dollar yen is popping. Dollar yen pops, gold usually drops. That's the way it works. And the stock market usually holds up too when dollar yen pops, but that is not the case at the moment. Let's take a look at the oil markets. Oil markets have been very, very volatile and very, very strong as of late. Today you do get a little bit of a reprieve. Light sweet crude is trading lower by 47 cents to 106.43 a barrel. Let's go to the all-important USO, and you'll see the USO has pulled back in a little bit. It's trading at $39 a share. It closed at $39.17. I still think with the geopolitical events that are surrounding us, we have to be very, very careful with oil. Oil is not going to just plunge with the problems in Iraq, problems in Russia. Okay, so again, I know a lot of traders out there are dying to short oil, but it's just not really ready yet. You got to let this market simmer a little bit. And again, oil right now with the geopolitical events, it could pull back, could even have a big down day or two, but ultimately it's fine when you have all this underlying premium built into it with the fear. So again, we'll see how this all shakes out and plays out. Futures have crumbled a little bit more, down 4.5 points at the moment. So decent little drop on the futures. And we'll see where this market goes. Hopefully we'll get some volatility, get some good trading opportunities today. With that being said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we will see you on the charts.